Link in the description. Look at this. That is the only bad thing about having a part husky dog. She sheds like mad in the summertime. And I've brushed her and brushed her and brushed her. But you're worth it, aren't you, baby? Yeah. Good girl. But Vita is hypoallergenic, I think is the word, so she doesn't shed or have dandruff or anything. Yeah, give me that belly. Get her, tell her. This one gets jealous. Yeah. Tell them hi. Tell them hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Oop. Robot vacuum is working overtime. And it's been a couple thousand miles since we put on our Performance Development DIRS diff brace. I'm gonna come in here and double check our bolts and make sure that they are still torqued appropriately. And these 16mm ones on the side are 90 foot-pounds. That one's good to go. And I am having to use an extension, which isn't really my preference, but sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. That one's good. The 12mm ARP bolts are 42 foot-pounds. And I'm gonna do the outside ones. I obviously can't reach the one behind the through bolt, but I might not be able to reach this one either. Nope, can't get to that one either. So at least I checked and I know it's torqued to spec. The last one I'm gonna check is the through bolt. And I almost forgot about the 12mm vertical bolts. They are also 42 foot-pounds. And that one had actually backed off a little bit, so I'm glad I'm checking them. That one too. There we go. Now we'll come back and hit this 21mm bolt, and it is also 90 foot-pounds. And it was good to go. So you want to keep an eye on these through bolts because it has that rubber spacer that goes between the part 1 and the cross member. And over time, I guess that rubber can compress a little bit, and that's why we were able to tighten those bolts a couple of turns. But good to go now, ready for racing. What's up, Speedy's Garage gang? Welcome back to Speedy's Garage. If you missed last week's video, be sure to go back and check that out where we hurt Go Man Go. Obviously, we're in him today. We're actually headed to Street Car Takeover in Bowling Green. Those that were paying close attention probably noticed the past few videos that I've put out were shot a few months back. And I was trying to time those videos to come out right around Challenger Fest, which was the first weekend in May. Obviously, we had an issue with the car, so that delayed things a bit. So the car has been fixed. It's good to go. Be sure to stay tuned and subscribe if you haven't already, and you'll see what we did, what we broke, and how we corrected it. Upgraded a few things while we were at it. It's about to get pretty exciting, but today we're taking the maiden voyage in Go Man Go since the repairs, and it will be at Street Car Takeover Bowling Green, like I said, so that's where we're headed. So like always, when I go to the track, I try to have some kind of plan. The first plan today is not to break anything. We're gonna be running our 93 octane setup. I'm not gonna put it on full kill. The class that I'm likely going to compete in at Street Car Takeover is going to be the 10-0 index class, and basically what that means is you run to 10-0 in the quarter mile. Whoever gets closest to 10-0 and doesn't go under wins, and obviously the tree, your time at the tree, reaction time takes into account on the overall time of your time slip. So we're going to try to cut a good light today and run in that 10-0 class. I think the car will easily do that. I may actually have to slow it down a little bit, and I might do that through the transmission shift points, just lower the RPM some to try to get it to run right on that 10-0. So that's the plan for today. We'll get back to the repairs and everything that went on with Go Man Go on the next video, but for now, let's hit Bowling Green. And I'm flying solo today. Crew Chief Greg had some family business he had to attend to and couldn't make it. And our buddy Chad with the very fast 6-speed Hellcat also had some family business to attend to, so he couldn't make it either. I've got Go Man Go loaded to the gills. That's one of the nice things about having a Challenger. There's plenty of room. I've got a cooler in here. The DA is going to be awful. I bet it's going to be 3,500 DA at least. probably 90 plus degrees and 60–70% humidity. We're gonna try to hide in the shade as much as we can and drink plenty of water. I'm gonna have to remember to do that. I get out here and get excited racing and I forget to eat and drink sometimes, and that'll put a hurting on me today. So I'm gonna really focus on staying hydrated. Can't believe all the stuff that fits in this car. And I tried to get Miss Speedy to come with us and drive the Sport Runner as a support vehicle, and I could put all of my stuff in there. And she looked at the weather forecast and said, 3,500 DA, I'm out. So again, flying solo today. We'll see how we do. Hello.
Are you racing today?
I am. Are y'all taking cards?
Just cash.
Just cash?
Yep.
What do I owe you?
$45.
Here's 40.
Okay.
Got 5 here somewhere. Here's 5.
Thank you. Can you just print and sign on the white sheet? You can fill out the tech card once you get down there.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
Pretty good turnout. We'll see how tech is today. Well, as you can hear, they've started up. They've got drifting, and they started the race day with roll racing. I'm gonna run that first, and then get into the drag racing about 4 o'clock. I went ahead and got Go Man Go swapped over, so we put on his race tire and wheel setup, and that's the Mickey Thompson ET Street R in the rear. I've had some people ask me what size. They're 305/45 17s on the Weld 17x10 wheel. And then of course up front we've got the Race Star Dark Star wheel in a 18x5. And we've got an M&H Racemaster Skinny up front that is a 4.5x18x28. So overall diameter is 28 inches, and it fits on an 18-inch wheel. That's what I needed to clear those big brakes up front. So got it all swapped over. It is bloody hot. I think the DA is about 3,400, and it's barely even noon yet. I had to come up here and get in some shade, drink a couple of bottles of water to recover after swapping those wheels and tires over out on the tarmac. So I'm gonna go check out some of the racing, maybe grab a bite to eat, and then get ready to drag race at 4 o'clock. C7Z06 should be quick, or fast, I guess, in this case. I want to get some old school muscle. Oh, yeah. 150 miles an hour. 168. Got a Viper. He's moving. 145. Car show. A little bit of everything at Street Car Takeover. All right, here goes our first test pass, and it is boiling hot. I am dying. It says it's 91 out. We're gonna pull the data log, running this on just our 93 setup. Goal is to run 10.0. That's the class we're gonna enter. Just gotta get it done. I gotta get the jitters Got to get rid of the first run jitters after the issue that we had. Felt pretty good. It is hot, hot, hot. I need to check the DA, but it's probably still about 35 or 3600. Got a good data log. That's good news. Oh, thank you. All right, reaction time, I got to do way better than that. 0.752, awful. 60 foot was a 1.6, got to do better than that. And I ran a 10.58 at 132. 10.58 at 132, the DA, just atrocious. All right, I forgot to turn the camera on for that pass, but our second run, we're at 10.53 at 132 and a half. 10.53. I made one small change to the tune. What we did is on the street, it has a likelihood of blowing through the tires in first and second gear, so I've set the transmission shift point a little bit lower than 6,400 RPM where the rest of the gears are in case the tires break loose. It doesn't shoot past the rev limiter. Goodness. So what I did is I set it closer to 6,400 RPM for the track since I know I'm getting good traction. However, our 60 foots are still down. It was only a 159, 6.8 to the 8th, 104 miles an hour to the 8th, and then again a 10.53, 10.537 at 132.56. I don't know if that's going to be enough. And again, we're running this on 93 octane. If I put race gas in it and tuned it for race gas, we'd probably be right down there at the 10.0 mark where I need to be. But I'm not prepared to do that yet. So I don't know how we're going to do in this 10.0 class. We'll see. In between rounds, we're about to start eliminations. I'm going to heat up my chicken and potatoes. Okay, so look at the tune. Okay, so I took a look at the tune and made a couple of more small adjustments. I got to get the 60 foot down. That's the problem. The 60 foots, when we were here in March, were like 146, 147. Today they've been like 158, 159. And it's just because it's so hot, the car's just having a hard time getting off the line. It's not spinning, it's just not making any power. That supercharger's not getting good cold air. So I made a couple of tweaks to try to get it off the line a little bit better. I don't know if we're gonna have enough for the 10.0 class. I was hoping to run a little bit closer to that. 10.5 may not cut it. I think they're doing a street class first, and then the 10.0 class is the very next one. So we'll go through that first round here shortly. We'll see how we do. Fingers crossed. All right, they just called us up for eliminations. This is round one. He wants to head over to lanes 5 and 6. It's called Extreme Street 10.0 Index. That's the class we're in. Now this place is a zoo. I'm curious to see how they pair us up. All right, I was paired up with a pretty serious Mustang. See how we do. We drew chips, poker chips. We're the second ones down the track. I got the right lane, which is my preference, so that's good. A little bit of good luck there. Here we go.
Hello Kitty. It's a pretty rowdy fox body for the 10.0
got me. He got me. Got me on the jump. Nice job, man. That's a race car. That is a race car. If I'd had a race gas tune-up in it, I think we could have done something there. 93 octane tune-up just wasn't gonna cut it. Oh well, I still had an awesome time, and in a way it's been so hot, I'm almost glad our day is done. I can put the car back together and take my time. Don't have to be here all night. Thank you. He ran a 10.2 at 132 miles an hour. I ran a 10.4 at 133 miles an hour. There you go. He got me by about 2/10. What was the reaction time? Let's see what that looked like. He had a 0.1, I had a 0.2, so I got my reaction time a little bit better. That's it for us. Whew, what a day. So we're back to the shop. It's actually the next day. I got in from the track very late last night. It was right around midnight. At 9:30, when I was packing the car up and swapping the street wheels and tires back over, it was still almost 90 degrees out. So the DA never really got any better. After being that hot for that long, I could not wait to get home and take a shower and just get in bed. So you couldn't have seen me anyway. It was dark driving home, and I didn't think that content would turn out that well. So I decided to finish the video out when we got back to the shop the next day. That's where we are. Took about 15 minutes, maybe 20, to convert Go Man Go back into street trim mode. Having that rear seat delete in, if you haven't seen that, be sure to check it out. Really helps speed that process up. He's all ready to go to cruise ins and whatnot for the rest of the summer. And when the weather starts to cool off a bit, we'll get back to the track and see what we can do with this car. We're gonna finish up our 93 testing, and then we're gonna go into some race gas testing to see how much of a difference it makes now that we've got pulleys and injectors. So stay tuned for that. And Street Car Takeover, it was a lot of fun. There was a whole bunch of stuff going on. I thought it was a really well-ran event. Everyone was pretty friendly. I mean, they're dealing with, you know, I don't know how many people were there. The whole pit area at Beach Bend was full, and I've never seen it that full except for LS Fest. So I'm gonna guess 400 cars, give or take, and then three times that many people probably. The staff were friendly, even though everybody was probably asking them the same questions over and over and over again. The announcer, Justin, did an awesome job. Met some really cool people in the pits. There were some folks next to me, I didn't catch their names, but they do Hellcat engine management systems, and we're running a pretty sweet front wheel drive car. They were super cool, offered to help swap tires and wheels if I needed it, offered me some shade when it was hot because obviously I couldn't fit the canopy. Everything but the canopy fit in the car, and they were kind of cracking up when I got to the track and opened the trunk and start pulling everything out. It was kind of like a clown car with all the stuff that came out of it. They couldn't believe it all actually fit inside the car and that I drove it up there. There were some folks on the other side of me that had a pretty cool Skyline. It broke a exhaust lifter or exhaust rocker arm on one of their passes, so they were doing some work with their car. And then I met some really cool folks behind me that had a son named Tanner, and he was like 20 years old and had built a pretty awesome S10 nitrous truck. They said he had been working on it about 4 years and had done all the work himself, and it ran in the low 10s, and it had a pretty decent paint job on it. It was kind of a bronze color, very sporty looking. He was running a Mickey Thompson ET Street SS tire and ran in the low 10s in that truck. So pretty cool to see that, even though he was having a little bit of a nitrous issue. So I really enjoyed Street Car Takeover, even though it was hot. I am done with summer events pretty much. If it's above 80 degrees, it's just too much for me. So we're going to start looking for some spring and fall events, or maybe some areas of the country that aren't quite so hot in the summertime if we're going to continue to do those. I hope you enjoyed the content. Please give it a big thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because next weekend we're getting back on our issue that we had with Go Man Go. You know, last weekend's video, and I'll link it here, this is a little bit bonus content, I'm putting this out midweek, was where we actually had a catastrophic failure at the track. I'm going to go into that, exactly what I found when I got the car home. I had some theories while I was at the track, but looking around, I couldn't see anything super obvious, but I had a kind of a gut feeling of what it was. People have said, we think it was the differential, we think it was the axles. It wasn't anything with the drivetrain or the drive line. I'll go ahead and give you that now. It wasn't the drive shaft, it wasn't the axles, and it wasn't the differential. So that only leaves a couple of big components. So you want to stay tuned and stick around to see that. So we're going to go back into that on Saturday. That video will go live and I'll actually show you what I found when we got home. And then over the next few weeks, I'll show you what we did to correct the issue, how we were able to do that pretty quickly, and how we got Go Man Go back to where he is now. So with that, I'm gonna call it a day. Be sure to check us out on Instagram. It's at Speedy's_garage, as well as our website, www.speedysgarage.net, and hopefully, I will see you out there.